Welcome back to our English Learning channel.
It's great to be back. And today we're doing something a little bit different, aren't we?
Gee, definitely are. Usually we're deep into grammar rules or practicing some really tricky pronunciation.
The mechanics of English.
Exactly, the mechanics, all the nuts and bolts.
Right. But today we're looking at a text that's, well, it's not just about English. It's kind of about life.
I love that. So we're multitasking. Killing two birds with one stone, as the idiom goes.
That is a great idiom to start with.
Yeah.
Yes, the text we're diving into today is called How to Discipline Your Thinking.
Discipline your thinking. That sounds quite serious. A little strict, maybe?
It does, doesn't it? When we hear discipline, we often think of, punishment.
Right, like a teacher disciplining a student.
Exactly. But here, the meaning is much more positive. It's more about training, practice.
Oh, okay. Like an athlete. A runner has to discipline their body to get stronger.
Precisely. So this text is saying we need to discipline our minds to think more clearly.
So our goal today is twofold then. First, we want to help you learn some simple, useful English words.
Words that help you express your feelings. And second,
we want to use this text to help you find a little bit of calm, a stronger mind. Because learning English can be stressful.
life can be stressful. We all need tools for that.
I think everyone listening can get on board with that. So for everyone listening, just get comfortable. We're going to keep this slow and clear.
Yeah, use this to really practice your listening skills. See what new words you can pick up.
Okay, so we have three main points or pillars to cover from this text. First, we'll talk about your thoughts and how to handle them.
Then second, we'll look at the idea of control, what you can control and what you really can't.
And third, we'll talk about reactions, how to stop yourself from, reacting too quickly.
Sounds like a solid plan.
So should we jump into the first part?
Let's do it.
All right, I'm looking at the text here, and the first header is actually a little surprising. It just says, "You are not your thoughts."
You are not your thoughts. Let's just pause on that for a second. That's a huge idea.
It sounds wrong, doesn't it? I mean, if I think something, isn't that me?
That's what we assume, right? I had a thought, so it must be true. It must be me.
Yeah.
But the text argues that thoughts are just events. They're things that just happen in your mind.
I kind of like to think of it like a pop-up ad on a website.
Oh, I hate those.
Me too. But when one appears, you don't think, oh, I made this ad. It showed up.
That is a brilliant analogy. The text says, and I'm quoting here, just because a thought appears doesn't mean it's true.
Exactly. And it mentions a specific situation for this. It says, when you feel stressed or insecure.
Okay, let's stop on those two words.
Sure.
Stressed and insecure. I think every English learner knows these feelings.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's start with stressed. What does that really feel like?
To me, stressed feels like pressure. Like you have a big deadline and your heart is beating fast, your shoulders are tight.
Yeah, too much to do, not enough time. That feeling of being overwhelmed.
And insecure. How is that different?
Insecure is more about confidence, isn't it? It's that feeling of not being good enough.
Yes.
For our listeners, imagine you're in a conversation with native speakers. You want to say something, but you're afraid your grammar is bad. You feel small. That's being insecure.
That's a perfect example. And the text says when we feel that way, our brain starts telling us these stories.
Which leads to the big question in this section. The text says you have to ask yourself, is this fact or just fear?
Is this fact or just fear? I love that question. It's so simple and clear.
It is, but let's define them. A fact is what?
A fact is reality. It's objective. Like, it is Tuesday. We can check a calendar. We can't really argue about it.
Right. Or I have an English test tomorrow. That's a fact.
Exactly. Now, what's fear?
Fear is an emotion. It's a story we tell ourselves about what might happen in the future.
Usually a bad story.
Right. So let's take my example. The fact is, the test is tomorrow. What's the fear?
The fear is, I'm going to fail. I'll get a 0. Everyone is going to think I'm stupid.
And is that a fact?
No, of course not. It hasn't happened. You might get a perfect score.
But our brain, when it's stressed, it treats the fear like it's a fact.
Yes, we start to act as if we've already failed. That's the trap.
So the text says, learning to question your thoughts gives you control.
To question them. I love that. You become a detective. You look at the thought and you say, okay, where's the proof? Show me the evidence.
So if I think my boss is angry with me, I should stop and ask, is that a fact? Or is it just my fear because I was late this morning?
Exactly. You create a little bit of distance between you and the thought and that space. That's where you find peace.
It's a real mental discipline, though. It takes practice.
It does. But once you realize you don't have to believe every random thought that pops into your head, it's so freeing.
Speaking of things that are weighing us down, that leads really nicely into the second part of the text.
It does. This section is titled, Focus Only on What You Can Control.
Control, that's a huge word. To control something means to have power over it.
And we all want control, don't we? Over our jobs, our lives, even the weather. But the text gives us a bit of a reality check.
Yeah, it has what it calls the cannot list.
And it's a tough list to accept. What's number one?
You can't control other people.
That's the big one. Think of all the energy we waste wishing other people were different. I wish my coworker was more organized.
I wish my friend would text me back faster.
Yes, we get so frustrated. But the text says, stop. It's out of your control.
So what's next on the cannot list?
You can't control the past.
Right. Everything that happened before right now.
You know that feeling when you said something embarrassing yesterday and you just keep replaying it in your head?
Oh, yes. That's the worst.
But can you change it? Can you go back in time?
No, it's done. It's a fact now.
Exactly. So worrying about it is just wasted energy.
So if we can't control other people and we can't control the past, what's left? What's on the can list?
The text says there's really only one thing you have total control over.
And what's that?
Your response.
Your response, how you react to things.
Yes. And the text actually brings in a famous historical figure here. Did you see that?
I did. Marcus Aurelius.
Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor nearly 2,000 years ago.
So, I mean, he was probably the most powerful man in the world at the time.
You think so? If anyone could control things, it was him. But he wrote this private journal, Meditations, and it's all about controlling his own mind.
Not the world.
Not the world. The text summarizes his idea like this. Peace comes from focusing on what is within your power.
Within your power. I like that phrase. It means things you can actually personally influence.
Right. Your actions, your attitude, your words.
So what do we do with all the other stuff? The things that are not within our power?
Well, the text gives us this beautiful phrasal verb. It says, let go of what you can't control.
Let go. Such simple words, but so difficult to do.
It is. Let's try to visualize it. Imagine you're holding a really heavy rock. Your muscles are shaking. You're exhausted.
Okay.
Letting go is just opening your hand.
The rock falls. And the struggle is over.
That's it. Mentally, it means you stop fighting reality. You accept the traffic is bad. You accept the past is gone. And you just let it be.
It sounds simple, but it's so hard.
It is. But that's where true peace comes from. Not from changing the world, but from managing yourself.
Which I think brings us perfectly to our third and final section.
Yes, because if we're going to manage ourselves, we need a strategy, a how-to guide.
And the header here is pause before you react.
This might be the most practical advice in the whole deep dive.
I think so too. The text says, strong minds don't react instantly.
Instantly. That's a key word. It means right away, with zero delay.
Like a reflex. You touch something hot, you pull your hand back instantly. That's a good reaction.
It is. It saves you from getting burned. But in conversations, reacting instantly is usually a bad idea.
So let's imagine a scenario. You get an email from a coworker and it feels unfair. It criticizes your work.
Ooh, I can feel my blood pressure rising just thinking about it.
Me too. And my instant reaction is to type back a really angry email.
That's the automatic reaction. That's the anger taking control. You're not thinking, you're just reacting.
So the text says a strong mind doesn't do that. It has a 3-step plan.
Okay, let's break it down. What's step one?
Pause.
Just stop. Do nothing.
It sounds so easy, but when you're angry, doing nothing is the hardest thing in the world.
It is.
Yeah.
But that pause is where the magic happens. It creates that space we talked about. What's step 2?
Take one breath.
Just one.
Just one deep breath, in and out.
And that's not just to waste time, right? There's a biological reason for it.
Exactly. When you're stressed, your brain's logic center kind of shuts down. The deep breath tells your body, it's okay, we're safe. It turns the thinking part of your brain back on.
That is fascinating. So the breath literally changes your brain chemistry.
And once your brain is back online, ready for step 3,
Which is
choose your response.
choose.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important word in this whole discussion.
Why do you say that?
Because when you react instantly, there's no choice. You're a puppet of your emotions. But when you pause and breathe, you get your freedom back.
You can decide what to do.
Yes. You can choose to reply calmly. You can choose to ignore the email. You can choose to walk over and talk to the person. You are in control.
The text makes a big promise here. It says that small pause can change your entire day.
And it's true, isn't it? If you send that angry email,
You start a war. Your whole day is ruined. You're stressed. You can't focus.
but if you pause, you handle it calmly. The problem stays small. The rest of your day is peaceful.
All of that power in just 1 second of silence. It's incredible.
It really is. It's the difference between a disaster and just a minor problem.
You know, as we wrap up, I'm noticing a pattern through all 3 points.
Oh, yeah. What do you see?
Everything we talked about, questioning thoughts, focusing on control, pausing, it's all about slowing down.
You're absolutely right. The world tells us to be fast, fast, fast.
What wisdom is slow?
And you know what else is slow? Learning a language.
That's a great connection. Our listeners probably feel that same panic when they have to speak English.
Yes, someone asks you a question and you feel like you have to answer instantly.
And you rush and you make a mistake or you just freeze up.
So this advice applies directly to speaking English.
It really does. Someone asks you a question,
Pause.
take one breath,
Remind yourself you can only control your response.
and then choose your words carefully.
Exactly. You'll speak better and you will feel so much more confident.
It's a life skill and a language skill all in one.
That's why I love this text. Okay, before we finish, let's do a really quick summary.
Good idea. So lesson 1 was about thoughts.
The takeaway. You are not your thoughts. So ask yourself, is this fact or just fear?
Lesson 2,
Control. Focus only on what is within your power, which is usually just your own response. And for everything else.
let it go.
And lesson 3 was about reacting.
Don't react instantly. The strong mind strategy is pause, take one breath, choose your response.
Simple steps, huge impact.
Now, we want to leave all of you with a final thought, a little piece of homework for your mind.
Yes. A question for you to think about, based on everything we've discussed.
Here it is. If you pause for just 1 second today before speaking, how much trouble could you save yourself?
Just 1 single second. Think about an argument you could avoid, a mistake you could prevent.
Try it today. The next time you feel that urge to just snap back at someone, find that 1 second.
That's your challenge.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. We really hope you feel a little more prepared to discipline your thinking.
Keep practicing your English and keep practicing your pause.
We'll see you next time.
Goodbye, everyone.